As Autism Awareness Month comes to a close, we wanted to take this moment to showcase people on the autism spectrum doing extraordinary things. Our next guest is living proof of that in so many ways. Eva Erickson is a current contestant on Survivor 48 and the first openly person with autism to compete on the often proclaimed adventure of a lifetime. Eva joins us now. Thank you for being here, Eva. I want to start with this. Tell us what made you want to participate on Survivor and what it means to you as you continue to break barriers.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I wanted to go on Survivor because, like you said, it is the adventure of a lifetime. And going out there didn't really think about the fact that I would be the first openly autistic Survivor player to play. For me, it was just like, this is another challenge that I want to go after in my life. And obviously now I've had this huge opportunity to get to share my story about having autism.
You had an extraordinary moment on a recent episode where at the last second you won immunity for your tribe, and the moment you shared with a fellow contestant afterwards not only went viral, but also brought Jeff Probst to tears. What do you think you got through, how you got through that moment, and what was it like to actually watch that challenge back?
That was one of the most emotional things that I've ever gone through in my life, seeing how everyone responded to that. I go through what I call autism episodes when I get overstimulated and overwhelmed, and this was one example of that happening. There's different varying degrees that that happens in my life, but this situation, I was very overstimulated from the pressure of the game, from all the yelling, the people touching me. My head was stuck in a cycle that I could not break out of. But I had confided in Joe early on in the season about my autism and what he could do to help me if something like this were to occur. And I think advocating for myself in this situation early on to be prepared in case of this happening was the best thing that I could have done. And then the support that he showed me and the willingness to learn that the rest of my castmates, as well as Jeff Probst, showed in that moment when I was able to explain myself, tell my story, they all showed so much care and love and support, and I think that's just beautiful and how everybody should look at that and treat others with autism in their life in such way.
Absolutely. It was such a special moment, Eva. And lastly, what advice do you have for people who are coping with their own self-doubt as they learn to recognize their strength, not only as a person on the autism spectrum, but also just as a human being?
I think in my life, I always try to go with the mantra that the best thing that you can be is yourself. And I know that I am someone who has this very unique part of me, which is my autism. And yes, it gives me challenges, but it also gives me many strengths. And I think no matter if you're someone on the autism spectrum or dealing with other challenges in your life, you can learn to live with these things and see the good and understand how you can translate the challenges into successes for you.
Eva Erickson, thank you so much for being here. You are crushing it on Survivor right now. It is so amazing to see. Just thanks so much for everything.